What's up, guys? It's Ray J back with another video. And in this one, I want to break down what's happening with SPY, Tesla, Nvidia, the QQQ, and a couple of other tickers. I'm going to break down some very important levels to watch for as time goes on and what's happening to the charts thus far. But just know that I am not a financial planner. Take nothing I say as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please check out my Moomoo link. If you deposit $100, you're guaranteed 5 free stocks. If you deposit $2,000, you're guaranteed 30 in total. And the offer ends at the end of March. Anyways, as far as Tesla's going, we got this big rejection, and we're still technically on a bit of a downtrend. We're watching to see if we could hold this 330 area. We're forming a wick right here on this 4-hour candlestick, which tends to not be a very, very good sign. And if anything, Tesla's still showing some weakness. So I want to be very, very blunt about this. Although Tesla's weak, and even if it does have a bit more downside potential, whether we get a big rug pull or a bounce is going to depend a lot on Nvidia's earnings. So until then, I do think Tesla will shuffle a lot in this range and remain a little bit weak. As far as SPY goes, we also got a rejection, big dump right over here, but we're watching our 200 EMA at 599.5. If this holds, there's going to be a chance that we might just see this continue to consolidate in this range between this 602 resistance and 599 supports, kind of gapping up and coming back down, trading sideways for now until we get to Nvidia's earnings. That's going to be the next major catalyst. So watch 599.68 as our main support, very close to our 200 EMA. If that fails us, there's going to be a risk of us retesting these lows from 598 to 596.5. If that breaks, I'm looking for a potential move back down to 594. That's the next level in case we do end up losing 596.5, by the way. So just keep that in mind. And if 594 fails us, we have like 590. So to turn back up, you want to see us get back up of at least 602. Otherwise, we're just in this range down here. But there's still a lot more weakness than strongness, at least in this market. We're still looking a little bit more bearish. Same thing with the QQQ. We're getting a rejection right now. We're watching the support at 522. If that fails us, I'm looking for essentially 520. And if that fails, we could dip closer to like the 515, 516 area. I'd be watching like 518 than 516 just to be a little bit more precise in case we do get that rejection. So keep that in mind. Those are some key levels to watch for at least as time goes on. But for now, the QQQ is looking a little bit more bearish. We're watching to see if we could hold our 200 EMA. The Russell 2000 is rejecting. We're going to be watching to see if we could reclaim 218. If not, we're going to be at risk of dipping to 215 again. It's a very strong support, but there's still some weakness. Notice that on ES, we're not really losing 6,000. Some buyers did defend us near 50 or basically like around 6,000. And for now, that's our support. But this resistance is at this trend line, so we're stuck in between. We're sandwiched between these levels. We're not breaking. We're not breaking past 6,040 to break out higher, and we're not losing 6,000. We're stuck for now. The trend is a little bit more bearish as we're making lower highs, so it favors downside for the time being, but we'll see if that lasts. On NQ, we had this wick rate here we reject. We're making lower highs. We have to see if we can reclaim essentially 61.69 or 21.69. Otherwise, we're looking for a move lower. 21,500 is our support. If that fails us, we could be dipping even more. So be careful, guys. It's still a little bit more bearish in terms of this trend. We have not been able to hold or break some key levels yet. Nvidia still kind of weak. We have resistance at 134. Our support's currently around 130. We're stuck in between that range for now. There's still weakness on the chart approaching earnings, but don't forget about the possibility of an inverse head and shoulders. So we'll give that some time to develop. Looking at Tesla, we're showing some weakness as well, making lower highs and lower lows. We could continue to fall if this does not really bounce. And we're going to be watching to see if 330 holds, if we end up getting a bigger dip or not. For Apple, Apple's been pushing very, very nicely. We're looking for an attempt to get up to about 248 to 250. And if we lose 244, we're looking for a dump to about 240. Looks a bit more bullish, so 248 to 250 is a strong possibility. For Palantir, we're on a bit of a downtrend. We're looking for a test of 87. If that fails us, we can fill the gap to the low 80s. Still looks quite bearish for now. Coin is on a bit of a downtrend. We're looking for essentially 225 as a potential target. We'll see if that holds or not. Amazon was at some very, very critical support at 215. We're starting to lose that. Not a good sign, as we could be retesting the low around 212. So it needs to reclaim 215, otherwise 212 is coming. Meta came very close to our support. It actually ended up touching 663. I was talking about 660 to 656 as a very big support range. It's still possible we dip a little bit more to touch that, but then we'll see how it reacts to the 200 EMA. Microsoft is rejecting. We're looking at the support right here around 400, so it could be dipping a little bit lower. So keep that in mind. And then Google's on a bit of a downtrend. We could be looking for a move back down to like 181, if not 180. So there's going to be a risk of downside for that as well. Excuse me, the market still looks a little bit weak. Tesla's still looking very heavy, especially as we have these wicks forming. So just keep that in mind, guys. With that being said, I want to thank you all so much for listening. Please have a good rest of your day. I'll be back with another update as soon as the next couple of hours. So be careful. There is some weakness in the markets, but I'll let you guys know how things are looking later on. I'll talk about some big news that's coming out. We have Donald Trump meeting up with the president of France, I think, right now. So we'll see what that leads to. And I'll give you guys any updates if there's any talk about tariffs and etc. But with that being said, I thank you all so much for listening. Have a good one and peace out.